score from the McDermott Center. UIW 53, Southeastern Louisiana 51. This postgame is presented by Image 360 San Antonio West, and we're now joined by head coach Jeff Dow and senior Chloe Storer. Coach, we'll just put it this way. We'll fast forward all the way to a minute left. It's a 51-43 game. Y'all go on a 10-0 run. Yeah. What the heck happened down the stretch?
Sam, it wasn't looking good. You know, down 8 with a minute left, and I'm already drafting the post-game speech in my head, and I, you know, it's not a fun speech to give, but, you know, we just, as I told the team, I thought we just kept scrapping away and put pressure on them, and, you know, I'm aware that obviously they missed some free throws down the stretch, but in part because we kept playing. You know, we kept, you know, we're scoring. All of a sudden you're getting points. You're coming up with loose balls. And we were flying around on the defensive end. And, of course, you know, got the big stop, you know, when we finally needed it there at the end of the game. And, you know, we practice end-of-game situations pretty much every week. Obviously, we've been in, you know, multiple close games that have come down to the last minute. And so, and you know, of course, with 6 seniors as well, you know, you got a lot of players like this young lady to my right. You know, they know how to react in these situations. It's a veteran group, very mature group, and you know they were ready to make plays obviously when we needed it.
You could see that emotion play out in the post-game celebration. Everyone rubbing the genius there that's on top of your head.
Genius, that's a stretch, Sam.
This has been one of those seasons that you'll already the most winning season it's been in D1 history. You go now the 11th conference win. That's the most ever here at UIW. What is it about this group that is so special?
Well, I mean, great culture. I mean, they care about each other. They're competitive. I mean, simple as it sounds. They want to win. They don't want to lose. I mean, that's very simple, you know. And it's a mature group. They're easy to coach. There's no maintenance, you know, quite frankly, on and off the court. You know, they prepare. The staff and I were just talking about defensively how good we've been in the last 4 games. You know, the 3 coming into this, we had given up 45, 47, 48. Okay, 2 of those were on the road. I mean, that's unbelievable, you know, to hold opponents to that low of a score at this level. Obviously, we have a tremendous amount of respect. So, you know, Southeastern Louisiana is a tremendous opponent, you know, to hold them to 51 as well, a very talented group. And you know, they obviously get up, you know, for big games. And, of course, as a coach, you're trying to tell them every game is big. We've obviously had some epic, you know, classic games with these guys. The championship game a couple of years ago in overtime. Chloe was a big part of that as a sophomore. The triple overtime loss a month ago at their place and now tonight. So it's a great rivalry. We have a tremendous amount of respect. You know, Haley Giordano is, you know, I told her in the handshake line, I already told her this before, you shoot around, just, you know, tremendous player, but just an unbelievable competitor as well.
Chloe, for you, I mean, back in double figures again. You started the game and with a bucket. You started the second half after what it was a defensive struggle with the bucket. Talk to us about that game. I mean, it was a dogfight when it came to both of the defenses getting after it offensively. What was so tough about getting buckets against their defense, and then how were y'all able to come through towards the end?
Honestly, I feel like we've just been so hungry for this ever since, you know, a month ago. It's always a really big battle with them. I think both of our teams are really centered in the paint. There wasn't a lot of threes going on, so you're right, it definitely was a battle inside. So I think we really focused on clogging the paint and making sure that we took away their easy 2s. And obviously we weren't shooting that well from 3 as well, so we really needed to make sure we got in the paint like again and again and again as much as we could.
Talk about the culture that you've been a part of. I mean, you're one of 6 seniors. You'll have senior night on Saturday. And with those 6 seniors, I mean, it's not very often that 5 of the 6 have been here for all 4 years. Right. How much fun has it been here at Incarnate Word, and what type of night is it for you to get to share it with your family flying in from Australia?
Yeah, it's really special, especially because I guess 2 years ago we had that group, the 5 of us that stayed, and I feel like it was a conscious decision to like kind of rebuild and make this group as close as possible. And I think we've really done that. Like, these girls, we're all so close, and I feel like the chemistry between us it's obvious on the court. We love playing with each other, and yeah, it's going to be an emotional weekend, especially with my family here. And Nina's family as well. So, and everyone's from Texas too. So we've got to really soak it in, and yeah, appreciate it.
Hi, just one question. So one heck of a game, nail biter. I mean, emotions were high from both sides. I made my way out to the foyer and I heard someone say this is the best game that they have ever seen. Tonight, Caitlin Clark broke a record, being the highest scorer of NCAA women's basketball. Just talk a little bit about how far women's basketball has come, what it means to you guys. Now, even Coach Dow, you can speak to this as well. You've been in the game long enough, you know, so whoever wants to go first, I mean, it's a totally different ball game than it was.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, this is something we've been building, you know, for years. And Chloe and these young ladies, when they were freshmen, I don't want to relive COVID, you know, especially this one to my right, you know, and everything she experienced just to get to the United States. And that when those guys, you know, I'm talking obviously Chloe and Brenna and Hannah and Myra and Destiny Terrell, you know, I remember telling them in the locker room, you know, we got beat in the conference tournament, but largely relying on freshmen, you know, and I remember saying, ladies, 6 and 9, that was a hell of a season. You know, 6, and we had over 50 practices canceled because of COVID, over 11 games. You know, so obviously we're just scratching the surface. You know, we get to their sophomore year, winning 4 games, you know, and this young lady, I know she gets embarrassed when I tell the story over and over and over. You know, we all of a sudden we had some injuries. She's got to learn a new position on the fly, you know, in 3 days, get ready for the conference tournament. We don't win 1 game, let alone 4 games, okay, without Chloe Storr and what she did in that first game and that group collectively and what they accomplished and, you know, going to the NCAA tournament. Then, you know, go to next or last season, you know, and we set a school record, you know, winning record, most wins, biggest, longest winning streak, which, by the way, was tied tonight, you know, with our 6th win in a row. And then as Sam pointed out earlier, we essentially we've broken our school record 3 games in a row, you know, going from 15 wins all the way up to 18. You know, it's very rewarding, you know, as a coach to see the development, you know, not just as players, but obviously as people, as students. You know, the senior class is all going to graduate in May on time. We had Nina join us, you know, last year. She's been unbelievable, you know, just a tremendous leader. You know, her and Chloe represent us game in and game out as our team captains, and just, you know, really just a competitive group, you know, and how much they care about each other. It doesn't surprise you quite. I mean, it does and it doesn't, but it doesn't surprise you when you win games like this, just because you know the bond that they have, the competitive nature that they have, just what they're about as people, you know, as much as anything else. It's a lot more than about basketball, you know, quite frankly, with our program. We like to win, you know, but and I'll say this about this group, that, man, they hate losing. You know, they hate losing, and that takes you a long ways as well.
Coach, Chloe, thank you very much for your time. Congrats on the win once again. Go enjoy this one with your friends, your team, your family. Y'all deserve it. We'll see you tomorrow, or excuse me, not tomorrow, Saturday, which might feel like tomorrow when she'll get done celebrating.
We'll be ready. So, all right.
This post game is presented by Image 360 San Antonio West.